Hi guys!
Welcome back to ONR, also known as Olive Kirote Rebranded.
Yes, and we are back again with episode
2.
In case you're watching this video for the first time, we are actually doing a 6-part business series sponsored by Odoo. We already did episode 1.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched that, you're going to find the link in the description box below or in the comment section. Definitely watch that one and then come back and continue with this one.
Yes. So we had a business together, a rabbit farming business. We had run it for about 5 years.
A couple years, yeah.
Yeah, and we unfortunately made the decision to shut it down last year. And we decided, why not share our story as we share about a tool that could have probably saved us, which is Odoo.
Several millions.
Yes. Today I have titled episode 2 a bit differently, Beam.
Okay, what's the title?
Episode 2 is called The Challenges.
The challenges.
The challenges. So episode 1, we kind of tackled the beginning of how we just found ourselves in rabbit farming. B, you're back again here. How do you feel you're back?
I feel like I'm home.
Oh, that's so cool, B. Rabbit chaos. The struggles we didn't see coming. Yeah.
Okay, rabbit chaos.
Okay, so 1, what was the most challenging part of running the farm? Is it day-to-day feeding? Is it cleaning? Was it dealing with the customers? What do you think was the most challenging part for us?
The most challenging part for us was finding the clientele that we were looking for. Because finding customers was not really that difficult. Because when we had our price a bit lower, significantly lower, we didn't have a problem for customers. The customers were readily there. We were selling back to back. But then our profit margins were really not that good. I can say our biggest challenge was balancing the price, the expenses, so I guess revenue and expenses, so that we can make a profit. It's an accounting, which we're going to go into when we're looking at Odoo, because they go into the balance sheet and the income statement, profit and loss. So I think that was our challenge.
When I look back at when we were running YRK, I think at the beginning, the feeding prices were lower.
Were significantly lower,
Yes, our farm was in Nairobi. We didn't have ample land to plant, think out of the box, and used to say we were low-key kids.
Our ideas were limited to the space that
we had. So imagine you have built a rabbit shed and you really want this to be successful, but you don't have enough land and space to do all these ideas that you have. You're kind of limited. You genuinely have to buy everything, from the hay to the pellets, everything we were buying. So if you're buying everything and you're meant to fatten these animals to a certain size so that now you sell them and you're selling them at a very fair price, what are your profit margins?
Significantly lower.
Exactly.
Or barely
anything, because you have to pay cleaner. We had a farm manager.
The general expenses.
We had water bills. We had electricity bills. Balancing the expenses of running the farm.
Yes, and the revenue.
And the revenue that we were making. And that's why we decided eventually
to increase our prices.
That's the part you put that me for, and that's where you go wrong.
Stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your good time, because that is where you go wrong.
And then, like in the hawk as well, you said the customers vanished.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, they did. A good amount.
Actually, babe, everyone.
A good amount disappeared. And then we decided to rebrand ourselves, fit the price that we were pretty much charging.
We were actually called Yummy Rabbits Kenya, and then we were like, you know what? Rebrand. YRK Organic.
Do you feel like changing the name was also part of the downfall?
Ooh.
Should it have remained Yummy Rabbits as compared to YRK?
I don't know.
Do you think that was a factor?
Now when you've asked me, Yummy Rabbits Kenya literally is telling you what the company is about.
Yeah.
Yummy Rabbits in Kenya. But when you say YRK Organic,
like what is organic?
What is YRK first? And what is organic about YRK? It sounds nicer to the mouth, the flow. I don't think if someone has no idea of what you guys are doing, they would know what you guys are about. So because you've already told me, the most challenging part of our farm was balancing the expenses and the revenue.
Yes.
The next question was, what expenses grew faster than you anticipated? Yo, guys!
The feeds, the pellets. the rabbit pellets.
If you're doing any form of farming, if you have not nailed down your feeding costs to almost zero, because it cannot be zero, you're not going to survive. What do you think?
I was doing some research as well in regards to the other business that we have, our current farm. The factors that need to be looked at is the breed, right, which people really don't take into consideration, and then your feed as well, and then how you're housing them, where you're going to be keeping these animals. If you've got those three fine-tuned, then you're pretty much good to go.
So your breed, your feed, and the housing. Why the housing? I'm just curious.
I'll give you an example maybe with rabbits, because I guess it hits closer to home. We had an outside structure, which was the main one that covered everything. And then we had ventilation along, and then now inside we had cages as well. So now that helped us in preventing many diseases. And there are many things that we did not encounter because of that setup. But then the other people that did not have the outside structure, so they just have a wooden cage and it's outside. So that brings
a lot of things
into play. So diseases, the mortality
cleaning
rate
as well, it's
when
not
they
easy.
give birth to the rabbits as well. So we had the nesting boxes that were attached.
Actually, our setup was A1. So I think for us, what we lacked was the feed. Our breeds were good,
but it was our feed. So if we had significantly lower feeding costs, then we wouldn't have had to really increase our price so that we try to make a profit.
All this we're talking about is related to finances. Like, what exactly were we not doing?
Well, I feel like we're just overwhelmed. I feel like that's another challenge that most businesses have. You've got this really great idea. Some people, they're even alone. Us, I guess we're lucky because we were 2 people. Or rather, we were 3.
We were actually 3,
We were 3 people. So we were assisting each other in what we know best. You'd find another person is doing ads, another person is doing marketing, another person is doing branding, graphics. It's like all of these things, cleaning, feeding,
managing
and all these
the
things.
farm.
But then now that's not enough. So you don't have systems, which we talked about in the previous video for Odoo. You're pretty much the system and you're trying to figure out systems on the go. So you're just overwhelmed. There's just too many things that you're doing. And then the day pretty much goes to an end. And you've not really achieved much.
And then you start incorporating systems like Odoo in your business.
Exactly. Because I feel like the systems is basically like another employee.
It is.
So it cuts down on the number of employees that you need to have, because the system has pretty much first-lined a good amount of stuff. So maybe stuff that you would need 3 employees, you probably just need 1.
I want us to talk about Odoo.
Okay.
Odoo has partnered with us through this series, and for this episode, one of our major challenges was clearly the money game. Accounting is the money game.
Yes, it is.
You are our money game, no?
Yes, I am the chief accountant. But like I said, overwhelmed. If you're overwhelmed with many other things, you're pretty much blind to a good amount of things. If you're an accountant, that's your main thing. Just be an accountant.
Forget about everything else.
Do the accounting. The other things should just be like a by the way, because you're probably going to fail to see many other things that you would have seen if you were basically just managing the money.
Okay. Andrew is a certified accountant. Like, I mean, we must use him. We must use him in this video.
Maybe the viewers don't know what accounting is. Do you know what accounting is? What is accounting?
Be stop putting me on blast. Me, I'm a marketer by profession. I don't know. It is accounting. You account for things. Account for money in and you account for money out. That's what I know accounting as. What is accounting?
You're recording the transactions, called journal entries. So you're recording the transactions that are in the business. You record your assets, your liabilities, your equity. And then now from there, you're able to generate financial statements that are going to give you a clear picture of what's going on in the business.
I have opened my Odoo app. I have paid for Odoo. I am learning about systems and streamlining ONR. And this is how life looks like inside Odoo. Now, because I already have paid for my system, I've already logged in. If you want to know that entire process, they should watch episode 1. So this is the accounting one. And you just click accounting and this is how it looks.
You can walk us through the user journey in regards to, like, let's say the business. So I feel like what most people are interested in, you can let me know in the comment section if I'm right or wrong, is basically if you have a business, someone makes an order. Once they make an order, what does that look like? Do you send them an invoice? After you send them an invoice, after they get it, will they get a receipt? So I feel like that's the first thing that I would be interested in knowing when it comes to accounting.
I actually asked ChatGPT.
Yeah.
What should be the first step? The first step should be to configure their settings and upload their
Yeah.
current accounts. For example, ONR has maybe another system that we were using prior.
Yeah.
Before you actively start.
You should import it this side.
Exactly. So I'm going to just show you. Here it is. Accounting, configuration, and then settings. Come here. You come here and then you configure
your settings.
Your settings based on
So
your business.
in regards to the settings, you need your tax,
Yes.
the currencies
Yes.
that you're going to be using.
The fiscalization, so where are you located
Yeah.
locally. Accounting imports, here it is. Taxes, if you pay VAT, you include it there, 16%. Your currency of choice.
You can see over there, they also have the cash basis option. Do you know what that is?
No.
There are different ways that you can apply tax. So you can either apply tax on the approved invoices, or you can apply tax on the purchases that have been made for the business directly. You're not confirming the tax on the invoice, but then people have just they've just purchased things. So this is mostly for small businesses, because small businesses, most of the time, they're not sending out invoices. So as long as you sold something, the tax is charged on that thing that you've sold.
Yeah.
So like in Kenya, I think the law is for businesses that are earning 1 million shillings to 50 million shillings annually. It's on cash basis.
Question. You said small business don't really use invoices a lot. They're constantly maybe selling goods and there's no time to invoice and all these things.
It's like, let's say, for example, if you've got a supermarket.
Yeah.
Most of the time, those guys, like let's say if you're buying goods inside there, you're not giving out invoices most of the times.
Obviously not.
You people just buying stuff.
Yeah.
So those things on cash basis.
So basically what we're saying, we can configure taxes using cash basis.
If you're inputting, like you're selling something, right? You have to choose like what tax, because the tax is pretty much done automatically, right? So you choose that this is on cash basis.
It just automatically does the totaling and then does the taxing for you.
Yeah, when you're getting your tax reports and all those type of things, that everything is fine.
Okay, good to know. Thanks for that. Also seeing we have snail mail, customer invoices, units of measure, customer payments. You can configure all these things. And I think that's why Chat was saying step one is to configure. Come visit this place and configure your account.
Configure your settings.
Yeah, your settings. Thank you. Second thing, add your chart of accounts. Please tell us what your chart of accounts is.
The chart of accounts is the list of all the accounts that you're going to be using in your business. So it's dependent on the type of business that you have. So you can list down, these are all the accounts that are going to be using in the business.
There's software, there's fixtures, there's land, and they're all divided according to type.
Or maybe you don't use software, so you don't have to activate that list of accounts. So it's not going to be part of your list of accounts.
It's already preloaded on Odoo. All you just need to do is, I guess, plug and play. Next thing is create a customer invoice.
An invoice, yeah.
Yes. I think it's the first thing I did on Odoo. I personally didn't do the configurations. I think I just
went direct.
I need an invoice. I want to give them a tour of what Odoo looks like.
Okay.
This is Odoo. You can see there's the dashboard. So the dashboard is basically your homepage, guys. Customers is everything about the customers in your business. When you're creating invoice notes, credit notes, payments, products, and customers. So invoices you send to customers based on the products that they've inquired to purchase. And it's like when they want to.
Let's say, for example, you send out an invoice, because an invoice is pretty much a request for payment.
A credit note is?
So a credit note comes into effect after you have sent out an invoice, which is a demand for payment for your goods that you're rendering or service.
Yeah.
Once you've sent out your invoice, but now maybe along the way something happened, maybe the goods got damaged or the goods went bad. So now the credit note is basically to help account for that incident that has occurred, and it's a reduction deduction for that invoice that has been sent. So maybe the damaged stuff is worth 10,000 shillings.
Yes.
So you put a credit note notifying them that that incident has occurred.
So the credit note comes from who? Me.
From you, yeah.
The company.
You sent out an invoice, but something happened, so you wrote a credit note.
It's even saying here, note that the easiest way to create a credit note is to do it directly from the customer's invoice. Oh my gosh, B, I don't know why I've never seen you exercise your accounting muscle.
But now I'm actually looking like a graduate.
I'm like,
I have a degree.
You have a degree in accounting, sir.
Yeah, I happen to have one.
So back to the dashboard. Then there is vendor bills. Vendor bills are basically the bills that the company is paying for.
The vendor invoices.
Basically, money out, expenses.
Yeah, accounts payable.
Let me tell you, once you start saying accounts receivable, accounts payable, you've lost me. You've lost me.
Just in case you're getting lost like Olive. So just look at it this way, in simple terms, right? Money coming in, money going out. Accounts receivable, you are receiving. It is an account that is
received.
Not that has received.
Oh.
Because if you are saying that has received, you're assuming it's already received the money.
Yeah.
It has not.
Okay.
So like if you send out an invoice, right, you're going to note that because it's double entry in your accounts receivable that you're meant to receive.
Oh, so accounts receivable is you are meant to receive, not you.
When you send
receive.
out the invoice, it's going to be in accounts receivable. So now it's like Olive is meant to pay me, right? I've sent out the invoice, I've noted X amount of money, so it's going to be debited inside the accounts receivable. When you're doing reconciliation, when you've actually been paid, because now let's say assume they've paid using the bank, so it's going to enter your bank. Once that reflects, we're now going to put that inside the receipts that now we have actually received the money.
So it's moved from accounts receivable.
No, accounts receivable is still there. We'll just need to balance with the account receivable. So we're going to open another entry where we're going to credit the accounts receivable.
If anyone has questions about accounting, comment them
Just
down
comment
below.
in the
Yeah,
comment
and
section.
it's definitely going to come and save your lives down there. Anyway, miscellaneous operations. Then there's bank for you to note down, reconcile the accounts, and then cash transactions. So basically, you can separate if you received money from bank or if you received money through cash.
I also saw where you can link your bank with Odoo.
Yes, bank setup, where you can actively link your bank
With Odoo.
with Odoo. So you can see here, search for an account or a bank institution. Yet to connect Kenya, but maybe eventually they will have it figured out.
Yeah.
And then you can do refunds, make payments to show like I made a payment to X, the products that you're paying for, right? And then the type of vendors you have. So journal items are single things. Journal entries are
Collection.
the collection of the entire item but balanced.
Yeah, can be an accountant.
No. That's now the accounting. You can definitely go through these others. There's reporting, balance sheets, profit and loss, cash flow statements, general ledgers. Which are the three main important reports if you were to choose just three?
I think probably the balance sheet, the profit and loss, and they're all important.
Really?
But okay, fine, the tax returns, because taxes are important. The balance sheet is basically your equity, your assets, and your liabilities. Yeah, it's just equity, assets, liabilities.
Profit and loss, money in, money out.
Revenue, expenses.
Revenue expenses. Anyway, that is the basic overview of what Odoo accounting looks like. Go to Odoo, you click community, click tutorials. Once you click tutorials, you're going to see all the tutorials about Odoo platforms. As you can tell, a girl has been trying to learn accounting and invoicing.
The good thing with Odoo, as you're learning, with accounting, just like anything, I think practice is very important.
Yeah.
So you've got the benefit of practicing as you're studying accounting.
The more you do the classes, I think it's more on the jargon side.
The language, the accounting language.
Yeah. Once you do the practical, you're like, oh, it's
We're
not
getting
even that
technical
difficult.
now.
Yeah, I just need to add here, minus here, balance here. And I think also over time you get good at it.
Exactly.
You don't have to do all these things on your own. And that's why it's advisable to grow your business to the point where you can look for the likes of Andrews to hire into your business to help you with the accounting, because I am seeing how important it is.
And tax as well, especially tax.
Yeah, especially tax, eh?
Yeah, if you're a big business and you're not doing your taxes, could come and bite you. Tax is important.
Yeah. Back to our podcast.
The challenges.
The challenges, as we had named this episode. How do you think we handled the unexpected problems and challenges that we experienced in the business?
We handled it pretty well, considering the situation that we were in, because we used to have weekly meetings.
Yes, we used to have weekly meetings.
Yeah, where we all sit down, we address the challenges that we're facing and how we can mitigate those challenges as well. We're on a track record of fixing the challenges. I just feel like along the way, the challenges were just a bit too many.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like you fix this one, then there's another one. You fix this one, there's another challenge.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I think we handled the challenges pretty well.
Yeah. I think also the challenges were different based on the stage of the business.
Of course.
Because when we actively started the business early 2019, 2020, the challenges were not so much feeding costs. I remember our challenges were mortality rate,
financing,
having money problems, because we want to buy feeds for them and we want to expand, we want to do all these things, but we just don't have enough money. Then we get the money and now the challenges shift from money. But for a moment I actually thought money would fix all our problems.
It's like, let's say for example, you think your problem is a job. You get the job, but you still have problems. Then was the problem the job? Or maybe the problems have just shifted.
Yeah. What customer feedback did we receive, and did we receive any? And if we did, how did we respond to it?
I feel like we received a lot of customer feedback. People that wanted to be customers, but they didn't.
Yes.
But the customer feedback was based on different stages of the business. At the beginning, I remember we had the branded t-shirts and the branded aprons, where we went for that mentorship thing, where it was in Westlands. Gave out samples, we got some feedback. Most of our customers actually liked the rabbit. Like from the beginning, we had a lot of good feedback. That's why we're even saying tastier than chicken.
Yeah.
Because we actually got that from our customers. And along the way, I guess that's why we eventually shut down, because we're not listening to our customers. We were saying that it's too expensive.
Yes.
Like,
when we shifted the price.
Yes, because we shifted the price quite a lot. At some point, we're 1,000 per kilo. So now most of the customers were feeling this is a bit too expensive.
Yeah.
Because my assumption right now, when I'm looking back, is that they were looking at this as an alternative to maybe to chicken, an alternative to whatever they were eating before.
Yeah.
So since it was an alternative, it was an affordable alternative.
Yeah.
But then now it's an expensive alternative,
so
and it's different.
Yeah. I mean, chicken is half that price. Goat is 3/4 that price.
And I'm already used to it.
You're right.
We had that feedback. I can't say it was negative. I think it was actually good feedback if we took it.
The more we talk about this business, I'm realizing we genuinely just wanted to make some money.
Yes.
We didn't even want to make that much, just something. Because for a very long time, we were just breaking even.
Yeah.
And we were getting tired. Literally, guys, the money that was coming in is the exact money that was coming out.
Yeah.
So we were like,
now we need to enter profit.
Like, it's been almost 4 or 5 years. We need profits in this place,
So I think looking back, probably instead of increasing the price, the next step that we should have done is pretty much reducing our cost.
But
that
we didn't know how to, because we were in Nairobi.
What would have done, since the farm was in Nairobi, needed to look for more land that is outside, right? Outside of Nairobi, maybe let's say 1 acre, where we plant pastures. So the whole 1 acre, the napier grass, plant the boma roads,
All the feeds that they like.
The alfalfa, Lucerne, hey.
Yeah.
We plant that and then we only go there to harvest. And then we bring back the harvest to Nairobi and we include it as our ingredients for our pellets. And then we make our pellets and then we don't have to buy pellets. Even just removing that cost, that expense
would have helped us
would have already
greatly.
been in profits.
Yeah.
Without increasing the price.
Yeah, we were beaten down so much. I don't even think we had the capability or the mindset to think, now let's go buy land. Think about it, you're in a business and you've never made money from it. How are you able to then to convince yourself that you need to look for money outside or wherever to go buy land, to now plant, to now maybe when you reduce your costs, you're going to make money.
Or even, that's what I'm saying, I think we were a bit overwhelmed. Right now, I think we're able to think about this because we're not overwhelmed, but then also we've got experience.
Yes.
So probably if buying land was probably going to be an expensive route, we'd have probably had a meeting and then would have looked at the options and then we've seen maybe it's a bit expensive to buy the land. What would have instead done is just buy the raw materials to make the pellets. We would have found farmers that are a bit far away from Nairobi that are selling the alfalfa, selling our raw materials to manufacture the pellets, and then we find an affordable transport system to bring these ingredients to Nairobi and we still manufacture our pellets.
I think that would have also helped us because we were buying and buying and buying.
Yeah. If
we actually thought of making it, would have been significantly better.
Significantly lower.
But then again, if you can remember, we were having issues with electricity, we were having issues with understanding the machine because we did bring the pellet machine.
Yes.
But we never got to use it the way we thought we would.
So we should have probably found some expertise. It's just that the person that was meant to help us with fixing the pellet machine didn't show up. As well, we were overwhelmed. Too many things going on, right? There's the pellet machine, there's the marketing, there's, I don't know, the meat box, there's the branding, there's just too much.
So you think we would have been able to make our own pellets and not suffer a lot of cost? Like if you were to compare 50 kg bags from Bembe, which was like 2,500 shillings at that time, and us making our own 50 kgs with our own ingredients and using our own electricity, do you think the costs would have been the same?
It would have been significantly lower. I would say it would have probably been 70%.
70% lower.
Yes. So probably that 70% would have been our profit margin. Because currently, like as you know, we've made pellets.
Yes.
In a day, you can literally make 200. 200 kgs. And 200 kgs for the rabbits would go months.
Facts. But those things also eat.
Yeah, would go months and months. So imagine you've got pellets that you've just made in one day and they're lasting months.
You've literally
you can even increase the intake for the rabbits.
Okay. We were so overwhelmed, we were not able to sit down, breathe, and think.
Yes.
And we just kept making rushed decisions, which were very costly, and they actually took us to our downfall.
Yes. Like that African proverb where if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
So what we should have done, like from the complete beginning, is not get excited, which I feel like happens to almost everybody. Let's say you've got some funds, you've come across a really great business, and you get really excited, which is okay, which is good because you're meant to be excited.
Yeah.
But then I don't think you should let the excitement like control and overtake and pretty much cloud your judgment. From the beginning, we should have been able to sit down and plan very well. And be like, okay, fine. What are the plausible things that we could go through? What are the challenges that we could go through? So that we try mitigate these things on paper before we even get to the ground. So we see maybe for this business, like I said, I now do ample research and then now you find out the feeding is a problem, the breed is a problem, and the housing is a problem. So if you already know that those are the three major challenges that you're going to go through and probably that are going to impact your profits, then you should tackle those things before you even get down to the nitty-gritty of the situation.
How did you try to solve those headaches? Did you wing it? Did you ask for help? Did you just push through? Did we actually try to solve them by asking for help, or are we just trusting ourselves in this?
I think it was a bit of both. Mostly, I can say 70% we were winging it and trusting ourselves that we're going to fix the situation. 30% we were asking other people because, like you remember, we were trying to join the chambers of commerce.
Oh yeah, KNCCI, Kenya National Chambers of Commerce.
Then we were networking, trying to meet people in business, which was actually good.
Yeah.
But then I feel like the information that we're getting from such type of settings were basically for expansion.
You guys have figured your stuff out.
And then now you're growing.
You're growing. EPZ, agricultural show. We even want to buy a fridge truck, guys.
Because we found export opportunities. Big companies pretty much were working with us. So we're pretty much on the right track. But then, like, I think those challenges, if anything, we should have incurred them at the complete beginning. I feel like we would have been able to survive and push through with it and become profitable if, from the beginning, we just put the price high.
And then we would have seen how it would have stabbed us in the back.
Yeah.
And then we would have gone back to the drawing board and
And
said,
be like, hey, okay, this is not working. Let's...
Yeah. But there are moments when we thought about giving up.
Many times.
Countless.
From the beginning. I think the whole 5 years.
Yeah, do you know, B, I found a post I posted on my Instagram in 2021 that said, I think we should shut this business down. And that means that was the second year.
Yeah. At every moment, we were like, maybe let's just close this.
Yeah, I think we talked about it so much. I know for a fact I wanted to close it down, and my partners were like, no, let's keep trying.
Let's just keep pushing.
And we did keep pushing. I think to the point where it's like, okay, I think now, now even the money is over, so let's accept it.
But the funny thing, every time we felt like closing it,
yeah,
we would get another big opportunity.
Yes.
Like just to hook you back in.
Yes.
And then you find a nice opportunity, you're like, these people are trusting us.
Yeah, why would we
Why?
give up? Like, clearly they've seen something in us that maybe we are failing to see in the moment.
Yes.
So, but we wanted to shut that business down every day. Anyway, I want us to answer the last question because this video is sponsored by Odoo. So, last one is, did we ever regret starting this business? And what do you think kept us going?
I don't think we regretted starting the business. There are a couple of businesses I honestly regret starting. But I don't think this was one of them. I think
inward. That's an
inside joke.
Inside joke. Actually, inward. Oh Lord, inside joke. Yeah.
What kept us going? We were getting purpose along the way. We're trying to give like a healthy alternative. So it was related to health, because that was around the time in Kenya there was this thing called the red alert.
B, you remember so much about this business. Me, I think it's a trauma point. You've forgotten all these things.
So erased.
I've erased it all.
If you guys remember, there was a red alert. So they were showing how people are using these chemicals, putting them on the meat, injecting I don't know what. And then these things can cause cancer. And then now we are fully organic, hence the name YK Organic.
You remember that company that was like, can you prove to us why you're organic?
Yeah. The certification.
Yeah. Ooh.
Different level. Stuff like that, I think, kept us going. And we really wanted to push and pretty much make a change.
It also introduced us to rabbit meat because, in all honesty, I had never tried rabbit meat until we decided to be rabbit farmers.
Yeah.
And I slowly started getting a hang of it and getting used to cooking it and eating it. So in some way, I don't regret. But then for me, I'm going to look at it from a different point of view because I think your point of view is from a place of how we were serving others and how the business was actually helpful to not just us, but the entire community that was around it. For me, it's actually in a personal way. YRK really taught me resilience. I genuinely feel like resilience was our second name. From fixing cages, do you remember? We would fix those cages on our own. Sometimes it's getting late. We have to fix them before we go back home.
Before we figured out that you can use clippers, like just clip those things. We used to use...
Do you remember how you used to apply? And then you used to
and
press until your hands got...
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm saying. Andrew was operations. All these things, he was the one on ground. You remember spray painting?
Yeah.
The cages so that now like they look fresher. Do you remember
from walking with mbao? with the wood.
Yes, we would have to go buy the planks of wood and walk with them.
Lifting the cage and putting it on those cabro.
Yes, I remember. For me, it's the resilience part. Where this business shaped our mindset. I genuinely don't think there's any business that was harder to run than YRK Organic. I think between us, how many businesses have we run?
Maybe 4 or 5.
5.
4 or 5?
I think 4. 5 is like a subsection of your business. Yeah, we've only run YRK, ONR, Tajiri, and Static.
I had Cream Digital Ads.
Cream was under Static, no?
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was like its own fully fledged business.
It was by itself. before I closed it, because I used to do digital ads.
Okay, but then I don't know why they didn't think cream was a business. But okay, fine. If you are considering it a business, then is there another one? No.
No, I think that's it.
5 businesses. So out of all these businesses, in my humble opinion, Yummy Rabbits Kenya, guys, it has shaped the entrepreneur I am today. I don't think I'm successful in what I do if I didn't go through what.
Yeah.
Yummy Rabbits taught us a lot. What about you in a personal level?
On a personal level, it's the same. Like grit, resilience, pushing on, taking stress in the business.
Yeah.
Figuring out systems, cold calling.
Oh my gosh.
Talking to clients.
Talking to clients.
So would cold call clients, doing adverts as well, seeing which ads convert into actual customers, following up with customers, customer relations,
booking Airbnb.
Yeah, content creation. There are many skills we got from
that business for sure. But we also started building out our team. I think by the time we were shutting down, we had like 5-6 people in YRK. It was actually painful, guys, because 6 people were relying on the success of the business. And when we had to shut down, I mean, you're shutting down 6 people's incomes one way or another. Again, a lot of lessons. I want to just say thank you so much, B, for coming to this episode with me. Really, really enjoyed your presence.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, sorry, just say it again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, I appreciate it. I want to leave the audience with 2 questions. And I want you guys to definitely share with us these responses. One is, what's the biggest challenge that you have faced in your business? Okay. And how did you overcome it? How did you overcome ours? We shut down the business.
That was the last.
Yeah, that was the last call.
We kept overcoming.
And then we're like,
it's like, you know what?
Yeah. And then the second thing is, I'd like you guys to let me know if you have dealt with a crisis in your business. And if you have, please, guys, share your story with me in the comments. I want to relate to anybody who has also put money into a business and had to see it be shut down. The Odoo link will be in the description box below. Okay. Please, guys, check Odoo out. Personally, I'm locked in. This is my 3rd month in Odoo. I actually have a meeting B, I think sometime this week. Okay. Yeah, I want to integrate my ONR side to Odoo nicely. I'll share with you guys how it goes. Yes. I need to also just walk the talk. You know, I can't be here saying Odoo. People on the internet are calling it Odoo.
Odoo.
Yeah, Odoo.
From which demographic?
The US.
Which geolocation?
They're calling the US people I was watching. They're like, and this video is sponsored by Odoo.
Odoo.
I mean, I'm like, no, it's Odoo.
Anyway. I guess different locations, different ways of saying tomato, tomato.
Exactly.
Odoo.
Odoo.
That sounds like if it was O-D-U.
Yeah, Odoo.
In the comment section down below.
How are you guys pronouncing this name?
Odoo.
Yes, and as we wrap up, I just want you guys to, again, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. We have a 6-part business series sponsored by
Odoo.
Odoo, and we want you guys to be locked in through and through as we share all our lessons and mistakes, challenges. But I'm really grateful because the lessons have come through. Thank you so much for watching.
Give the video a thumbs up.
Yes. And
give us your takeaway from this video. Let us know in the comment section down below. Engage with us. Let us know what you think. And if there's something maybe that we do not tackle, that maybe do not understand, either let us also know in the comment section down below, or you can just register for Odoo using the link in the description box below. And once you're inside, you'll get somebody that has been assigned to you. If you still don't understand, they're going to help you further.
See you in the next one, and we love you lots. Bye.
Bye.